Okay, and now it is 12 hours later. Well, it's not really 12 hours later. I'm going to pretend it was, and I did nothing for 12 hours, which would have been really amazing, but, you know, we're in the same clothes. But no, okay, it's not really 12 hours later. We're pretending it's 12 hours later. I, last night, did my homework and made some, ground up some almonds with some miso in my processor and brought it in and switch bowls. So this is what it would be in 12 hours. So now we have our fermented almonds, and it's risen up a little bit, and it smells great. So this is going to be very, very good for us because it's a fermented recipe, and all of the good flora, the lactobacillus, has had a chance to multiply, and it's going to be filled with good flora for our system, which is really awesome for us. So not only is it going to taste delicious, but it's going to be really, really good for us too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this off now. It's quite watery, and the part that's going to come out is considered the whey, and we don't want that in it. We just want the almond mixture. Get a bag holder or an assistant to come here and help hold one for me. But it's not bad. We're almost there. Okay. Oops. Now we have it in our nut milk bag, and you can see that it's dripping the whey out of it already. So what we're going to do is we're going to gently squeeze it. Not too hard. We don't want to wring it out. Nut milk bags they're fairly expensive. Usually like $8 to $12 now. And they will get holes with really rough usage or over a lot of usage. But if you take care of it, it will last you for a very, very long time. So no like wringing and sticking your nails into it. Just be gentle with it. And just the majority of it out. You can still have some in, but yeah. I want to keep some because it's really good for you. And at this point it's about the texture, so it's a little bit dry now, and it'll just kind of break apart, kind of cracks apart when you do that. That's a good consistency. If you can just kind of press it apart and it comes apart easily, then you've got enough of the whey out and it's good. So we're going to put that in the processor, and it's going to sit and wait for all of our other seasonings to join it. Okay, so now I'm going to peel some ginger, about an inch of ginger, and by an inch I mean if you were to chop it up it would be over a tablespoon to a tablespoon and a half, which might be easier because ginger isn't consistent. So this is a little bit more than an inch. An inch is about here, 2.5 centimeters, but it's kind of thinner, this part. And I love ginger, so, and this is really for flavor, so you can put in as much as you like. If you don't like ginger, you can just omit it. But it's really good for you, and it tastes delicious in this. It's a nice combination. I tend to chop it up first to make sure that it gets processed. Not really necessary because this is going to process it all. So if you want to just cube it and throw it up bigger and take your chances, good chance it's going to all get processed up, but I like to make sure there's no chunks left in it. So, and I like chopping. Okay, so there it is. I'm going to add it to the pizza cheese in here. Now 2 cloves of garlic. If you're not a big fan of garlic, you can add just 1 clove. I'm a huge fan of garlic, and I'll add the whole head. No, just joking. 2 is lots. I'm just going to press down on it. And these are quite large garlic cloves, so really 1 would be fine. It's almost 2 joined together. I think I'll just use this amount. And again, I don't want the skin. I'm going to chop it up. Quite fine, and add it too. There's that. I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. You could add 1 or 2 green onions too if you liked. Chop those down and add it instead of the onion powder. I find this quick and easy, and I just like the flavor of it. So I've gotten used to making it like this. 1/4 of a teaspoon of chili powder and 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne. And 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Now another thing with this recipe, it's like I said before, the texture is really important with it, and often it helps to add a little bit of water. 1/4 cup of water is probably going to be fine, so I'm just going to put 1/4 cup in here, but it helps it spin around lots. Helps it to spin around and become a really nice consistency. So I'm going to try just with this. But it's not bad. That might be okay just as it is. But adding a little bit of water will just make it go around smoothly. Yeah, you can see it's all falling into each other now. That's what we want. You may need to stop it once or twice just to scrape down the sides. Spatula is my right hand when I have a processor and working with the food processor. There, it's blending around perfectly. That's absolute perfect consistency. So really it was only a couple tablespoons. It was 1/8 of a cup, which is 2 tablespoons. Okay. One more time to press it down. If you can see from up on top, the middle part is really spinning around quite well, but we just had a little layer going around the outside, blocking the view. That's it. And when it's well processed, like this, that is a perfect spreadable consistency. You can form it into to a ball or a chunk and take slices of it to serve with crackers, or I usually just have a bottle of it in the fridge and I serve it. I love it on pizza. It's my favorite for the cheese on the pizza, with a marinara on top, and I'll show you how to do that in another another episode. So for now I'm going to put it in a glass bottle and let it sit, and I keep it in the fridge, and it stays in the fridge for several weeks, up to a month. And it smells amazing. And I know it's going to taste delicious. It really is. Enjoy.